Guys say it's manipulative. Now who's manipulative, Pearl?
Oh, I mean, guys definitely say it's manipulative. I'll give my
Scroll down a
comments
bit,
after.
Nick. Scroll down. This 100% genius hack will get 50-50 cheapos in check. Splitting the bill on a first date has become a topic of contention. One shady dater has devised, oh my God, alliteration, all the fucking, okay. One shady dater has devised a deliciously devious trick. Oh man, I bet she was very exuberant over that. Okay. That's sure to leave tight-fisted fellas with egg on their face.
What?
When a man, actually just go to the video, Nick. Pull up the TikTok, next page. Let's see it.
When a man wants to go 50-50 with you on a date, do this. Oh my God. I'm so embarrassed right now. Wait, you wanted to just be friends? I'm so confused. This whole entire time I thought this was a date. Oh my God. Okay, I'm so sorry. Here's my card.
I see how that works. I see how it works.
See how it works?
Yeah, I can see that.
Now, so you want a traditional guy, right?
I wouldn't say that I want a traditional guy, no.
But you want a guy to pay for first dates.
I would like somebody to pay for the first date, yes.
Why?
Because the kind of man that I'm looking for like the father of my children, life partner, somebody who has ambition, leadership qualities, like someone who has like honestly like a job where he could, where he's like looking for a wife, someone who wants to take care of a wife and his children, and like if I get pregnant with his babies, that we're not going to be fucked if we get married, so I think like to me, I don't think of like it being modern versus traditional. I just think like, what kind of energy do I want? What kind of man do I want? And I think the standard that I have is that if a man asks me out on a date, I would expect that like out of courtesy, he would take care of it. That's just what I want. Do I actually think that women should use this as a hack to get men to pay for them? No. I think that women should live in such a way and have the kind of energy where that if a man asked them out and they had a conversation, that's just what they would want to do. And if they don't want to do it, that's totally fine. But I would just really probably see that person as a friend. That's just a standard that I have for myself. Oh, if you want to split the bill on the first date, like we're probably just not a long-term match. Do I think you should actually use this? Like I said last time I was here, no. I think this was a skit to illustrate a standard, and a standard is different than manipulation. I see how people could take it as me giving them a hack, like the Shira 7 kind of stuff, but I personally didn't intend it to be that. I had no idea it was going to blow up the way that it did. But yeah, my standard is if a man asks me on a date, he's picking it. It could be coffee, it could be an expensive dinner, it could be a walk, and I get to say yes or no to the date. But if he planned it and he picked it, the very first thing, I feel like a good impression is to take care of the bill.
Well, regardless of whether you intend to employ this hack,
I never called it a hack.
Right.
That's what all the posts and all the people in the comments called it.
Regardless of whether you actually employ this, oh, you want to split the bill? I didn't know you wanted to just be friends. I mean, the sentiment is still there, right? So if a guy did want to split the bill, there wouldn't be a second date, correct?
Yeah, probably not.
If he did split the bill,
yeah, if we went to coffee
date.
And he's like, hey, can you Venmo me $6? I'd be like,
no, he doesn't say that, but he goes in, he orders his thing, he arrives before you, and then you arrive, he doesn't go ahead and pay for yours.
I would just assume it's not a date. I would assume that that's for friend. That would be like a friend thing.
But what if he like overtly uses communication and says, no, this is a date. I am romantically and sexually interested in you.
Yeah, I would be very surprised, and I probably wouldn't want to date him.
Even though, because you're saying, well, I wouldn't date him again because he wants to be friends. But he's saying, well, I don't want to be friends. I actually want to date you, but I also don't want to pay for your shit.
Yeah, I wouldn't like that.
Fair enough. Going around the table, who should pay on the first date?
Men. I think either.
Sure.
If he asks him.
Okay.
Men.
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 Okay, so
Could I also just ask her one question?
Sure.
Have you ever paid on a first date?
When I was younger and more easily manipulated, yes.
Oh my.
Did you want to pay? But now, no. I haven't had to. My friends, I mean, even my male friends, I never pay for myself.
Wait, I
on
have a
first
question.
date. Yeah.
You said when you were younger and you were dating guys, like you would split.
Yeah, I might offer. I think the
split.
majority of the times
Wait,
men
question.
would.
Did you ever
say
hook
yes.
up with any of these guys that
Ooh.
didn't pay?
I don't know. I don't know. I don't remember.
You don't remember?
Not. I don't think so. No. I don't think I ever did. To be honest, it wasn't a
Interesting.
It wasn't a normal occurrence, but it did happen a few times before. But now it never happens ever, and I never
Wait,
talk about it.
so
I never say it. Never happens.
This was the big point of contention on the previous show. Would you take your husband's last name?
Oh yeah, we were talking about that. I would take my husband's last name.
That wasn't your answer though the previous time.
My answer was I don't know. Like I was just like saying I don't know, and then I got a huge reaction from it. I was like, oh, I didn't even know that it mattered that much to men. And then we had this whole thing, but I was like, oh,
Yeah.
I truly didn't even know that it would matter that much. But yeah, if my husband wanted me to take his last name, like I have no
Would there
problem
be a
with
conversation about it? Would he have to justify it?
that. No, I don't think so.
No?
If we're getting married,
I thought there had to be a conversation. Like he just said, "You're taking my last name."
I don't. You're taking it. That's
Yeah.
just like a weird vibe.
You said men should pay.
I'd say that's what I
Men,
want.
you have to pay for first dates.
I wouldn't approach it like that. I would say that that's what I want. And if he was like, that's this, I would prefer, like, I really want you to take my last name. It means this to me. It means, I'd be like, okay.
Didn't you say that? Well, I'd have to determine if his last name was cool enough. Didn't you say that?
I did say that, yeah. But I don't
See,
think that's actually
bro,
not true, though, now.
You said that though.
I said that, and I'm allowed to evolve and
Sure.
change my opinion.
Absolutely.
And I think that would totally be great with
But
me.
Chase-
Even if he had an ugly ass last name, I would still
Sure.
take it if it really meant a lot to him.
Well, I'm glad
And-
we had that impact on you. I'm
Yeah,
glad
thank you
we were
so much,
able
the
to-
Whatever Podcast.
You're
You've changed my
welcome.
life.
You're very welcome. But we did point out that when we brought this conversation up, and you're like, well, I don't know, I don't think. I mean, depends on his last name. I'd have to think about it. And then we said, hold on, you don't want to take my last name? Oh, I didn't know that this was a friend date. I didn't know you wanted to just be friends.
Yeah, that was funny. I remember that.
That was a good one.
It was a good one.
Good one.
Yeah.
Just be friends.
I'm a changed woman.
Yeah, you should thank me for this.
I did. I literally just did.
Yeah, it's good. It's good. So okay, why should men pay?
Men can do whatever they want. I would prefer personally if my man was the kind of man who would want to take care of a first date. They don't have to, then they can date someone else.
Yes, but
Who
so
wants
why?
to do that?
Like why should it be that men should pay for first dates?
Why do I like that in a man? And why do I prefer that?
Yeah, why should men pay for
I'm
first
not
dates?
saying that all men should do anything. If they want, if there's a 50-50 man who doesn't want to pay on the first date for whatever reason,
would you tell one of your girlfriends?
he should be paired with a woman who also wants to do that.
Okay, but
they
like
can go ahead and do that.
in your female friend group,
Yeah.
what would you prescriptively tell your female friends? If you're giving her advice
Mm-hmm.
and a guy did this, you would be like, well, if that's the arrangement you want, or would you prescriptively say, he's not the guy for you?
I would say, what do you want? And if she was like, I'd prefer if he paid for it, I would say, okay.
What if
then-
she didn't know?
If she didn't know,
And she was going to you for guidance, what would you tell her?
I mean, I think that men who want to take care of the first date are like typically, I think it's like related and correlated to like leadership abilities, and like men who don't want to pay for the first date, I feel like probably have been like burned by women, like have been maybe manipulated or taken advantage of financially, and are like skeptical of women, which is totally fair. I think that there totally are women who use men for their money. So I think that, that they should have that discussion, like, and decide what they want.